Start with calf raises. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch to heel stretch. Right heel forward, forward fold. Left heel forward, forward fold. Arms behind the back. Inhale, lean forward. Shoulders back. Exhale, stand up. Right heel forward. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Toe stretch. Right toe, left toe. Let the feet curl. Hip flexor lift. With a dumbbell, knee can come up to hip height. Take wall support if needed. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Left knee doesn't need to be locked. Slightly bent knee is good enough. Keep the left thigh strong. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. More weight on the left leg, less weight on the right leg. Then switch. More weight on the right leg, less weight on the left leg. Dumbbell can come over the left toes. Right knee slightly bent. Doesn't have to be locked. Right thigh engaged. Imagine pulling the knee up to the hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Knee in line with the hip. Down. Knee in line with the hip. Down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Shoulder rotation, standing or seated. Holding a dumbbell in a neutral grip, moving it from side to side. Preferably seated for more stability. Think of turning the thumb out and turning the thumb in, out and in. Change to the other side, out and in, out and in. Focus on the shoulder, open it, close it, open it, close it. Initiate the movement from the shoulder. Try to keep the elbow as straight as you can. Slight bending is okay. Inhaling, turn the shoulder out. Exhaling, turn the shoulder in. Shoulder rotation with or without dumbbells. This is with dumbbells. A little more difficult. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale out to the side and up. Exhale behind the neck. Inhale up, out to the side. Exhale behind the back. Inhale out to the side, up. Exhale behind the neck. Inhale up, out to the side. Exhale behind the back. Let the elbow bend towards the end of the movement. On the side, keep the elbow straight. Focus on breathing. Focus on moving the shoulder. Try without weight with thumbs up symbol. Inhale out to the side, exhale behind the neck. Inhale out to the side, exhale behind the lower back. Inhale out to the side, behind the neck. Inhale out to the side, behind the lower back. Each time, try to turn your thumbs out to either side. Let your thumbs point to their own side. Right thumb to the right, left thumb to the left. For shoulder and chest, C-shaped flies. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Try and keep your elbows as straight as you can. Engage your biceps. Keep your biceps strong so that your elbow doesn't overextend. Dolphin pose, static hold. Index finger and thumb together. Focus on the outside edge of your forearm. Round your spine, tuck your toes, and lift your knees. Stay here. You can look towards your knees or towards your thumbs. Try to cover your ears. Try not to touch the head to the ground. Keep lifting the hips high. With each inhale, lift the hips high. And take a break. Side plank. Left forearm on the floor. Focus on the outside edge of the forearm. Use your right palm to support to kick the right leg back behind the left toes. The left knee can be set right under the hips. The right arm goes up. You can look up to the fingers or down to the floor. Try to lift your head in a neutral position with your neck. If you decide to extend the left leg, you can either step the right foot in front of the left leg in this variation, and again try to keep your neck and your head as stable as you can. Keep lifting the hips higher. Imagine making a rainbow shape. Engage the side body. Last variation, both legs one on top of the other. You can do this by the wall to get more support. Come down slow with the help of both hands. Take a break if you need, or switch to the right side. Right forearm on the floor. Focus on the outside edge of the forearm. Let your hips be right above the right knee. Left leg steps outside behind the right toes. Left hand up. Maybe we look up to the left fingers or down to the floor. Engage the right side of the body. Squeeze the muscles around the armpit, around the lower half of the spine. Left foot stepped forward variation. Hips high. Press through the left foot, through the outside of the right foot, and through the right forearm. Lift the hips high. Maybe one leg on top of the other. Keep lifting the hips high as you can. Make a rainbow shape. Side stretch. Reach as far over as you can to hold your foot from the outside edge. Inhaling up, exhaling to reach over. Hip flexor lift. Rounded spine is required. Chin to the base of the neck. Abdominal muscles engaged. You can do this at the wall with the help of some support as you fall back. Keep some distance between your hips and the wall so that you can take some support as you lean back. Fingertips on the floor in front of the groin or palms on the floor in front of the groin. Lift the toes as high as you can. Bent knees. You can even lift one leg at a time. Doesn't matter how high the legs go. Only important thing is to find engagement in the hips. Everything else will come with time. Take a side look. Same idea, just without wall support. Fingertips on the floor, toes lift and drop. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop. In the beginning, breathing is not super important. Focus on the action. Get your body used to the movement. Breathe in whichever way it's comfortable. And then you can associate one breath to one movement. Lastly, try knee extension. Kick out to either side. So inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, kick out. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. Inhale together and drop. You can also do this one leg at a time. Lift one leg, kick out and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. Spine rounded will help. Then puppy pose, cat and cow along with a hold. Knees right below the hips, toes tucked. Arms extended in front, fingertips on the floor or palms on the floor. Exhale to come up, inhale to go down. Exhale to come up, inhale to go down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Maybe stay for some time. You can rest your palms on the floor. Keep your chin or your forehead on the floor. Let the hips go as high as possible. Let the spine relax. Round the spine as you come up. From a seat, let your hip turn in and out. Knees and ankles in one line. Palms supporting behind the hips. Slow and controlled knee movement in and out. You can use your hands to assist. You can step each hand on each side of your drop. So if the left leg falls, your left hand falls over to the right side as well. You can go down as an option for an additional deep twist. Slowly lower down and rise up. Inhale. Exhale in the center. Inhale on the side. Exhale in the center. Inhale on the side. Exhale in the center. You can still take some help when you go down. Think about bringing your chin to your knee. Imagine touching your chin to your knee when you go from side to side. Focusing on the lower back, lie down on a table. Hold on to the front of the table with a palm up grip. And then with bent knees, heels together, toes apart. Push the heels up. Lift the knees in line with the hip. With each exhale, lift up. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. If it hurts in the hip, use a cushion between you and the table. Inhale down. Exhale up. Heels together, toes apart. Heels together, toes apart. Look forward. Lengthen the spine. Engage the glutes. Engage the hamstrings. Engage the lower back. And then rest. Use a elastic band for side stretches. Wide legs will help to go deeper in the side. Don't worry about how deep you go. Focus on trying to keep your shoulders and hips aligned. Try to keep your arms extended. Try not to let your shoulders fall. Chest press. Using light weights or heavy, lying down, elbows bend and extend. As the elbows bend, weights go apart. As the elbows straighten, weights come together. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Control the weight. Bent knee variation for the lower back to be on the floor. Try to check with your palm to make sure that your palm doesn't go through between your lower back and the ground. Then grabbing a hold of the weights, slowly lower down, explode as you go up. Inhale down, exhale up. Use your chest muscles. Engage through the chest to lift the weights. The weights can be either in line with the shoulders or in front of the shoulders. Try not to take the weights too much close to the head. For hip thrust, take any weight, place it on the hips. Here I'm using 2 dumbbells, one on top of the other in a cross. I'm holding them in place so that they don't fall. Bringing my heels as close to the hips as possible, taking help of my hands to adjust. Once the heels are close enough, I make sure my chin is tucked so that my neck is long. Engage my lower abdomen. Inhale to lift, exhale to drop. Inhale to lift, exhale to drop. Inhale to lift, exhale to drop. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop. Lift, exhale, drop. Inhale, lift, exhale, drop. Use your heels and your toes. Try not to push all the weight through your heels. Also use your toes to lift up and down. Engage the lower abdominal muscles. Imagine lengthening the lower back even as you lift your hips high. Try not to arch the lower back as your hips go high. Let the dumbbells go overhead in this variation, chest, lower back and shoulders. The dumbbells don't have to necessarily come to the knee. You can stop when the dumbbells come at the shoulder. Exhale at the shoulder. Inhale as you let the dumbbells go back. Exhale at the shoulder. If it's too much, use just one dumbbell. Still try to keep your lower back on the floor so that your abdominal muscles are engaged as you let your hands go overhead. Inhale overhead, exhale over the shoulders. Inhale overhead, exhale over the shoulders. Try to keep the elbows as straight as you can. Again, small bending of the elbow is normal. It's acceptable. If you can do both dumbbells in each hand, one dumbbell in each hand, go for it. More weight, it'll be harder to keep the lower back on the floor. So try with less weight. Make sure your lower back is on the floor. Engage the abdominal muscles. Pull your hip towards your ribs, towards your chin. For upper abdominal muscles, try to reach your toes as your heels are over the hips. Reach with your fingertips to your toes. No need to hold. Just reach up. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, go down. 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 Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. You can also try this with dumbbells. Inhale as you go back. Exhale to reach the dumbbells up to the toes. Inhale, go back. Exhale, dumbbells up to the toes. Lower back always on the floor. Upper back, head, neck can lift up. For lower abdominal, one palm over the other under the hip. Push down through your palms and press the heels up. Inhale, legs apart. Exhale, toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, legs apart. Exhale, toes up to the ceiling. Inhale out. Exhale, reach up. 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 Take a break in between if you need. Exhale up. Inhale out. 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 Exhale up. Relax. Lower core, one leg at a time, bringing it towards the floor. Trying to keep the lower back on the floor or pressed into the palms. A cushion can also help. The higher the hips, the easier the exercise. The lower the hips on the ground, the harder the exercise. Keep engaging the abdominal muscles to maintain the structure of the spine and the ribs pulled in as well. Try to press through your forearms if they are on the floor and if the palms are under the hips. Dead bug, similar core stability exercise. Inhale as your leg touches the floor, exhale as you bring it in. Inhale as your toes touch the floor, exhale to bring them in. You can also alternate with ankle movements. Whichever leg goes down to the ground, the toes are pointed. Whichever leg comes up, the toes get flexed. Keep your head and shoulders lifted off of the ground. Also try to keep your shoulder blades off of the ground. Imagine that your forehead is trying to touch your knees throughout the whole time as you try to touch your toes. One leg hip lift. Focus on pressing through the heel and the toes of the leg which is on the ground. The other leg is in a figure 4. Think of pulling your belly button to your nose. Instead of taking it up to the ceiling, think of taking it up and back over your forehead. So instead of your hips going up and down, think of making a circular shape, a circular path towards your own face with your hips. Inhale up, exhale down. Deadlift formation. Just to practice the feeling of a deadlift, lower a weight down, keep your feet on either side of that object. Try to engage the sides of your body. Imagine that your shoulder wants to touch your hip. As you engage the sides of your body, let the hips get pushed back, engage through the hamstrings and calves. Try to lengthen your spine as you look ahead. Lift as you exhale, drop as you inhale. Exhale, lift, inhale, drop. Keep the weight as close to you as you can. If the weight is between the feet, even better. The closer the weight, the more the legs get engaged. Push the hips towards the weight as you come up. Don't try to use your elbows and arms for this. Just the lower half of the body is used. Press through all your toes, your heels and outside edges of the feet. Exhale up and inhale down. Lunge formation. Stand as if you are standing on train tracks with the right leg on the right track, left leg on the left track. Lower the back knee to the floor and lift it up. Exhale to lift, inhale to drop. Exhale to lift, inhale to drop. Exhale to lift, inhale to drop. The back heel can stay lifted. You can also take wall support if you need. Then change sides. Right leg on the right track in the front, left leg on the left train track in the back. The back heel is lifted. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. I'm holding one dumbbell with each hand, but you can also use just one hand with a dumbbell. The other one can be free for wall support, for body support and balance. Balance is not important here, just strengthening. So anywhere where you feel that your balance is lost, take support of the wall. Squat formation. Feet again hip width or a little wider. The toes can also point out a little bit. Imagine that your knees want to pull out, like I was just showing. The knees want to push outwards and bend. Outwards and bend. Think of pushing the hips back as you inhale, exhale up. Inhale back, exhale up. Don't think about going down. Think about going back with your hips and exhale to go up. You can go down if you feel comfortable with your knees and ankles, but then let your knees push forward and then push them back. Let the knees push forward and push them back. Try to keep your heels, the outside edges of the feet strongly pressed into the floor. Heavier deadlift. Again, making that same formation. Weight as close to the body as possible. Exhale to lift, inhale to drop. Exhale to lift, inhale to drop. Take your time to form the deadlift. Try not to hurry. Even if you do just 5 repetitions, it's good. Don't focus on how many you do. Try to do each one of them with proper breathing. Inhale to drop, exhale to lift. Try not to use your arm strength. One leg side deadlift. Take a step distance from the wall. Point your toes of the front leg to the front, the toes of your back leg to the side. Let the hip of your front leg attach to the wall. Let that hip touch the wall so that you don't have to balance. Inhale as you go down and exhale as you engage the thigh muscles to pull yourself up. Let your upper shoulder move towards the wall if you can. You can look over the upper shoulder. Inhale to go down and exhale to come up. Try to use your legs more than the hips, more than the spine, more than the hands. Imagine that your leg is the only part of the body that allows you this movement. Everything else doesn't have as much strength or control. Then try the same with the other side, taking one step distance from the wall with your front leg. The back leg goes about hip width or a little further back if you need. Let your hip touch the wall of the front leg so that you don't have to balance. Focus on strength, work on balance once you're strong. Inhale as you go down, neutral neck, exhale as you come up. You can optionally look up to the upper shoulder, but it's not too important. It's more important to keep a strong base leg. Try not to overextend the knee. So try not to straighten the knee too much. It's okay if the knee is slightly bent. For shoulder press, elbows are bent close to the side of the body, shoulders rolled back, feet are wide, knees are slightly bent, and the arms go up and down. Exhale to push the arms up and inhale to lower them down. Focus on your elbows extending and bending, extending and bending. You can add a little bit of a bend in the knee if you need, but not necessary. Jefferson curl, holding on to a weight close to the body, rounded spine, slowly lowering down. This is also done best from a height. So if you can stand on the couch or a chair, this works even better. But this will also work if you just let the weight roll away from you. When you lift up, keep the weight close to you. When you go down, round the spine as you go down. Use a lighter weight for this. Once the weight touches the floor, you can let it roll further if you want, so that the muscle in the hamstring stretches. And then as you bring the weight close to you, engage the same muscle to lift up. So focus on your hamstring and your glute. Slowly keeping the weight close, lowering down, inhaling as the weight goes away from you, and then exhaling to roll the weight towards you, and slowly with a rounded spine, lifting up to stand. So again, inhaling, lowering down slow, controlled. Take extra breaths, maybe roll the weight far from you. Exhale to bring the weight close and slowly rise up. Push the hips forward as you come up. Push the hips back as you go down. Keep the spine rounded. Inhale as you take the weight away from you. Exhale as you pull it towards yourself and slowly come up. Keep the weight close to the body. Take a break if you need. Tricep extension using any weight with both elbows or just one. Think about keeping your shoulders and your elbows in one line. Both shoulders and elbows in one line. Just let the elbow bend. Weight goes behind the back of your head, and then lift the weight over the head. Imagine that there is a wall in front of your elbows, that your elbows cannot move too far to the front. Try to keep the elbows stagnant, unmoved, unchanged. Exhale when you straighten the elbow, inhale when you bend. Heavy deadlift. with 10 kilos or more. Try to avoid rounding the spine here. Engage the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves as you bend. Mostly the glutes. Roll the shoulders back. Imagine that your elbow wants to touch your hip. Squeeze the sides of the body. Press through the legs. This is a leg exercise. Press through the legs. Imagine you want to stand up with the weight close to you, exhaling. Inhaling, lower down. Exhaling, weight is close. And lift. Inhaling down. Squeeze the side body. Exhale to lift. Look to the front. Inhale. Squeeze the side body. Exhale, lift. Drive through the hips as you come up to stand. It's okay if the hips go back. They don't have to be forward. It's okay if the knees go a little further back. Even further than what I'm doing in the video. Keep the weight close to you, as close as possible. Lift with an exhale, drop with an inhale. Take breaks in between. Pause the video if you need to. Try at least 5 deadlifts. Engage the side body and lift up. Engage the side body, lengthen spine, and lift up. Drive through the hips, exhale. Romanian deadlift, where the knee remains slightly straight or as straight as possible. Hips go back, weight goes down, exhale to come up. Inhale to go down, allow the knees to bend if there is hamstring tightness. Inhale to go down, exhale to come up. Same idea as a deadlift, but just a Romanian deadlift. Inhale to lower the weight down slowly, keeping it close. Exhale to lift up. Straight elbows. There is no arm strength involved. This is still a leg exercise. The further your hips go back, the easier this movement will be. And the more effective the movement will be. Engage the side body still. Imagine that your elbows, your shoulders want to move to the hips at all times. Try not to create distance or looseness between the elbow, the shoulder and the hip. Keep the upper body tight. Use your legs more than anything else. Exhale to come up. Inhale to go down. Going down is as important as coming up slowly. Standing forward fold for relaxing if you need. Heavy Jefferson curl. You can skip it if you feel like this is too much, but if you can, 10 kilos heavy Jefferson curl with a rounded spine. Inhale as you go down, still keeping the weight close. Exhale, rounded spine, slowly lift up. Even in a Jefferson curl, the knees are generally straight or slightly bent if we need them to bend. In a Jefferson curl, the knees don't have to bend. Especially when you are standing on a stool or a chair, you don't have to bend the knees. You can just go down as much as the hamstrings allow. Rounded spine will help engage the muscles around the spine. They will stretch as you go down and engage as you come up. Heavy deadlift. Once again, engage the side body and lift. It's good to repeat exercises. Exhale to lift. Sometimes one round can be like a warm-up. It can be like a preparation. The second round can be a little heavier, helping you prepare your mind for the heaviest round. So you can keep increasing weight gradually, even during your practice of 1 hour. Start with no weight, a little bit of weight, and then a lot of weight. And then you can also end with a little less weight. This will also help repeat the movement pattern and let you feel more comfortable and confident about this movement. Drive through the legs. Don't worry about arm strength. Keep the upper body strong, the side body strong. Farmer's carry. Take any amount of weight you like in one hand and just walk forward and backwards. However you like. all the weight in one hand. Walk forwards and backwards. Carrying the weight in one hand will make you tilt your body towards that side, but your body will try to counter that heaviness by engaging the abdominal muscles. And as you walk, your hips, your legs will have to also adjust to the extra weight. You can also do this with a bucket or with weights. The heavier, the better, as long as you can carry that weight. As long as you feel that tension, that feeling that the weight is dragging you to one side, but your body has to counter that weight. In this exercise, it is possible that you select too less of weight. So try not to take a very light weight. Try to get something which is heavy so that you feel that you are being pulled to that side, and let your body counter that. Make sure to change sides. Make sure to switch the weight to the other hand, and then keep walking forward and backwards. If you don't feel confident walking backwards, just take a turn. You can just walk forwards. Try to keep as neutral of a posture as you can. Here I'm tilting my head maybe a bit too low just to see where I'm going, which is also fine. Shoulder elevation in downward facing dog. So just in down dog, cover your ears, inhale, uncover them, exhale. Cover the ears, elbows are straight. The elbow pits, the inside soft part of the elbow faces forward or a little bit towards each other. Cover the ears, inhale, uncover, exhale. Twist to relax the spine after heavy load carrying. Here the knees are apart, toes are together. One arm can go up to the ceiling or wind around the body. Spend as much time as you need here, and then try the same on the other side. Imagine bringing both shoulders one on top of the other as you twist. Use the side of your head to reduce any tension on the neck. Take long inhalations to expand the chest, and exhale to deepen the twist. Getting help with a resistance band to just work on some chest flies, keeping the elbows straight. Imagine moving your knuckles from the front to the sides of your shoulder. Inhale as you open the knuckles out, exhale as you bring them towards each other. Straight elbows will focus more on engaging the muscles around the chest. For banded forward folds, let your foot be the base and take your hips through the two sides of the resistance band. As you hold on to the resistance band behind your head, you can start to exhale as you fold forward and down. Let the spine round as you fold forward. Inhale as you extend, maybe even straighten elbows or arch spine. Exhale, bent elbows, rounding down towards the floor. Inhale to go up. Maybe let the band go away from you. Maybe straighten elbows. If you feel any lower back pain when you straighten your elbows, skip that part. Focus on just folding forward without going into a back bend. Focus on making slow and controlled movements. Let your hips lock in against the band. Similarly, with the same band placement, making circular movements, taking the band from behind the back to one side, behind the back to the other side. Inhale as the band goes behind the back, exhale on one side. Inhale, band behind the back, exhale on the other side. The feet are slightly apart, maybe 1 or 2 centimeters apart. If having both feet within the band is too much, you can also do this with one foot in the band. Try to maintain some engagement around the belly as you move. Banded squats and deadlifts. Step around the band and place your feet on top. Cross the band and bring it above and around your head so that you lower down and come up. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you come up. Inhale to lean forward, exhale to come up. Try to arch the spine as you go down. Let the hips push backwards and come up. The knees are straight. Unless it's painful, then you can bend them a little bit. But in this one, the knees can be straight. Here, we are doing squats. That's why the knees are bending. Hips go back, the knees bend, and we press up. Inhale to go down with the hips back, knees bend. Exhale to press up. In squats, the knees are bending. In deadlifts, generally, they don't have to bend. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. To maintain a length in the spine, here I am holding on to my opposite elbows behind the back and trying to squeeze my shoulder blades, engaging the sides of the body to keep a neutral spine, looking to the front as we go down. In the same way, keeping that same setting of the foot pressed into the band around the neck, we can try something known as RDL or Romanian deadlift, where again the hip goes back, the knees stay straight, and we lean forward and press up. Inhale to lean forward and exhale to press up. Notice how there is a cross around the groin formed by the band. To understand the setup, you can either message me or look back towards the previous part of this video where I show how to get in there, stepping around and crossing. For arm extension again, with the feet along the band, you can just extend your arms back. Go as much as you can. Even here, there can be a cross, if you like, behind your calf, but it's not necessary. Shoulder breakers are meant to help us create more movement within the shoulders, to go from external to internal rotation. We try and keep the elbows straight if we can. If we cannot, bending one elbow is acceptable, but try not to bend both elbows. If you can keep both elbows straight, try that. Notice how here I shorten the distance between my shoulders, so keeping my elbows straight becomes a little harder. The wider the distance between the shoulders, the easier it will be to move front and back. The smaller the distance will be, the more you will have to bend your elbow. But it's okay. Bend only one elbow at a time. And then we can move on to some relaxing postures with a supported leg raise, where the band can be around the neck or shoulders and above the feet, so that you don't have to maintain the legs up. You can also do this at the wall if you don't want to use a resistance band. Focus on deep exhalations to relax the lower back after all the deadlifts and squats. Banded twists can also be done without a resistance band, but with the band it just gives you a little more structure as you move your arms from side to side. Try to keep your hips as neutral as possible. Bicep curls. The wider the feet, the stronger the curls. The narrower the feet, the closer the feet, the less intense the curls. Shoulders are rolled back, chest pressed forward. Try not to take support of your ribs by pressing your elbows into the ribs. Try to keep your arms next to the ribs instead of pressing them on top of the rib cage. Keep your elbow and shoulder as neutral as you can. Focus on engaging the bicep as you lift up your knuckle to your shoulder. There is no wrong movement. We just have to prepare for all kinds of movements. Focus on engaging the biceps. For deltoid extensions, palms are facing towards the thighs, to the pockets, and you lift up with straight elbows. Go as high as you can. To help a little bit towards the end, you can also bend your knees a little bit to raise the hands higher. For every exercise, we can do anywhere between 3 to 15 repetitions. But since this is a long practice, it's okay if you stop at 3 or 5 repetitions for anything that I'm showing you. Using one leg can also be a little more easy on the body, and we can work on building the strength gradually. Front deltoid extensions, similarly, palms are facing down to the floor. Then you can make a fist and lift straight up. Elbows don't have to bend. Movement of the neck is natural. Try to keep the abdominal muscles strong. Gain some strength by bending the elbows or bending the knees, not the elbows. Bend the knees a little bit to gain some support. Exhale on the hard part, inhale on the easy part. Tricep extensions at the door. Make sure that the band won't slip and hit you in the face. In order to do that, here I have elevated the latch of the door so that the band does not slip over the door. And I'm focusing on bending my elbow and straightening my elbow while keeping my elbow directly underneath the shoulder. A slight forward tilt is always helpful in stretching the tricep, but sometimes you can lose balance like I just did here. But even a slight shoulder tilt to the front is enough to gain that stretch in the tricep. Try to keep the elbow directly under the shoulder. Doing this one arm at a time can also be really productive. It can be a little more difficult, so make sure to adjust the amount that you repeat. Maybe just holding one handle with one hand and just focusing on the other hand. Sometimes isolating each arm can also mean that we can work on the form and learn how to move the elbow joint to take less help from the shoulders and focus more on the tricep. Here I am also taking a split stance where one leg is in front, one leg is in the back, focusing on keeping my elbow as stable as possible under the shoulder and moving by engaging the tricep and relaxing the tricep. Seated rows are mainly for back muscles. Feet are wide apart, band around the feet and just pulling the band towards me, focusing on rounding the spine and squeezing the spine. Inhale to round, exhale to squeeze. After all the heavy deadlifts, the banded deadlifts can again solidify the idea of how we want to move when we are holding heavy weight. So here we can practice with a light weight, moving slow, pushing the hips back with an inhale, pushing the hips forward with an exhale. This is a leg exercise, so try not to bend the elbows. Try not to use your shoulders. Imagine that you don't have any arm strength. Hips go back, shoulders roll back, squeeze down, and then the hips press to the front as we exhale. Inhale, hips back, exhale, forward. Notice how my knuckles stay along my legs. I don't take my knuckles to the front. This is also in line with keeping the weight close to the body that you are lifting. For cool down, I'm just doing some shoulder stretches. Crossing my arm, one in front, one in the back, falling over my biceps. Feet are hip width apart. You can also place a cushion underneath your head if it's too strong of a stretch on your shoulder. Happy baby can always be a good way to relax the lower back, the hips, create a little more hip flexion. For leg stretch and twists, we can keep one knee bent, one knee pulled towards us. Then we let that leg fall to its own side, to the opposite side. And then try the same on the other side. One knee bent, the other leg is pulled towards the body. We let it fall to its own side. Then we let it fall to the opposite side.